Lobster Magnet. Lobster's a 10 on you, don't you grab it. Hey everyone, looks like Star Wars fever is sweeping the nation yet again with the release of The Last Jedi. I have not seen the movie myself, but I will be soon. I don't know if I'll make a video on it, but I wanted to share with you a little Star Wars themed treat. A video I made at an old company I worked with, which was probably the best thing I made there. They took down the video, but since they took down all of their videos, I decided I'm going to re-upload this, and it's a better version with better edits. So enjoy the content now, and stick around for a very special director's commentary as I talk about why this was such a pain to make.
Hey, what's up, Vader? How's it going?
Good. You know, I just finished my 18th month trial period, and I thought it was time to discuss my $2 wage increase.
Management wants to mix things up and get new blood, so let me introduce you to your new supervisor.
Power of the dark side.
Don't you just love taking selfies with droids? It's like, here's the droid I'm looking for, am I right? Big V, heard about your work, it's some good stuff. Can I call you that? Big V? Kinda like the big vagina. But not a derogatory way, because vaginas are awesome and beautiful. But you know I'm not here to replace you or anything. Just trying to decide what I want to do next. You know, anything so I don't have to become some soulless drone in shipping who goes home every night to eat a frozen dinner and watch The Lion King.
Okay, this one's going to Naboo, this other one
Catch!
is going to... What?
Oh, too slow. What's the matter? Never played Ultimate Frisbee on the Death Star quad?
Stupid moisture farmer nerf herder.
A frozen dinner.
Dumb little Ewok. Did you hear about the latest attack on Tatooine? The Empire really needs to build a wall and make the Sand People pay for it.
Whoa, Sand People? Don't be a Tuscan phobe, bro. It's cool though, you're old, so you get a pass. Just taking some dick pics for my bae. Don't be jealous, bro.
But I refuse to let you go. If I have
Hey
to
bro,
beg...
I'm taking off early to hit up Coachella, then probably gonna get some henna tats. I'll be gone for the next 2, maybe 3 weeks. I'm also thinking about going backpacking in Naboo. They'd better have some good vegan spots.
I have had enough of your insolence. You've been nothing but a thorn in my dark side since day one. You are part of the Labor Alliance and a traitor. You're standing in my way.
That's cute. Where'd you pick that up? Walmart? Target? This is a custom-made artisanal lightsaber, crafted in Holland by a classically trained eco... You won't get away with this, you piece of sh...
Apology accepted, Kylo. Stupid name. If I have to beg, plead for your sympathy, I don't mind, 'cause you mean that much to me.
So now here is my director's commentary, the behind-the-scenes story of how that got made. And let me just say, making this was an absolutely miserable experience. That's the saddest thing, that, like, you know, as much as I love creating stuff, all of my bigger projects, the one thing that they all share in common is that, you know, making them is always a miserable experience that's like pulling teeth out. And that always seems to happen, and I kind of hate it. And this was also a miserable experience putting this together, whether you liked it or not. So basically, you know, I used to work for this company called, for the, you know, sake of the innocent, I will call it Jerk Media. Now, Jerk Media was basically run by this dumb guy, who's like a former Wall Street broker who thinks he can make it big in digital media. And basically, it was just like a terrible vanity company. But the one saving grace for the company was that he had this old friend who I will refer to as Weinstein Jr., because he used to work at the Weinstein Company during its big, during its heyday. And chances are he was probably one of the many complicit people who knew about Harvey Weinstein's sexual allegations and probably never spoke up about it because he enjoyed his job. Well, anyway, but Weinstein Jr., was not like a bad guy. He was a pretty nice guy. He was the only thing legitimate because he actually had like real producing credits and was just always 10 times better. The only problem though is that like Weinstein Jr. was never there. So, his friend who, the vanity company was there all the time because it was his vanity company. And he would always make, like, terrible, stupid, horrible decisions. So, I was in the video department, and then there was an effort that, like, Weinstein Jr. was going to, like, let the video department actually make, like, good videos that are, well-produced and not lazily put together. And so, I got to pitch this idea of, like, Hipster Kylo Ren, because, Kylo Ren is being, like, shown as the millennial face of Star Wars. He's like this millennial guy, played by the ultimate millennial Adam Driver. So let's lead into that. Let's make him as insufferable as possible. Let's give him like red suspenders and give him this like henna, stormtrooper thing, and kind of have this Generation Wars little cheap SNL skit. So I wrote it up, and he was like, yeah, sure, go do it. So then, I was like given the go-ahead. But there was like, the department was kind of terribly run, and there was this guy there who was like, his name was Lamonti, well, something similar to that, but I'll just call him Lamonti. And Lamonti was like not the official head of the department, but he sort of, because he was like the most experienced film person there, kind of like took unofficial control. So, and, to Lamonti's credit, he was actually, like, knew his stuff, knew how to light a scene, knew how to shoot the crap out of things. The only problem was that Lamonti was very, very fickle, and it was basically, there was, like, a point where it was, like, he would just sort of, like, be like, this needs to be written, it's not funny enough until... I say it is. And then there was like a point where it was like, okay, let's cast this thing. I'll, put up a thing on Craigslist. Let's think about options of what we can do. And Lamonti was just basically sitting around and saying like, no, it's not right. It's not right. I don't feel it. And it was literally like nothing, no work was being done until he felt like it. And he would get like really pissy where like, someone would try and work on it, and then like in terms of editing it, and then he would get like, even though he said he didn't want to edit it, and then he'd be like, how could you edit it without me, the person who shot it? I should have some critical impact. I should be the first one who has the foremost opinion. And basically, this is probably the funniest comparison I can think of, but it was like trying to make like a short film with like a tsundere anime character who was like, I don't really want to do this, but you know what, maybe I really want to do this. It's not like I like doing this or anything, baka. And that's what it was, and it was like, and I like went into so many freaking lengths, like, I went out of my time to like go buy the Kylo Ren mask, to get the Darth Vader gloves, to get the like costumes from like Hot Topic with my own money, to like get the props because nobody else was, and like practically all the props in the stupid thing was like brought by me. And, I just kept on, like, bringing in stuff to, make this happen, even though, like, no one else was really kind of, like, lifting their legs, because, like, this was my baby. I wanted to make it good. I wanted to make it happen, but, things just dragged on and on and on and on. It took forever to shoot. It took forever to edit, and the whole idea was to, like, get it out as soon as after The Force Awakens came around, but then... it was finished, but we'd long since passed that point because, the big dumb Wall Street man would always like kind of say, this needs to be done. You need to do this. This is for the sake of the company. Even though all those dumb things would like never actually make any money. So it kept on getting pushed back to the point where it was like, oh, well, let's wait for the trailer for Rogue One and there's more Star Wars news. And then it just kind of kept on pushing back further and further. And it eventually dropped, and then there was a big debate where, there was two versions of it. There was one with, the Star Wars music, which is the one you just saw, which was the better version, and then there was one with the, terrible, generic, licensee, royalty-free music, which used to be up until they took it down, along with all the other shitty videos. And, that version never did super well. It did okay, because a guy was able to get it up on, like, a well-known website, but, the idea was that, like, they were afraid that it wouldn't get monetized or get demonetized. They didn't understand the secret YouTube thing that all YouTubers know, that, like, you can get away with using, music that you don't have the rights for as long as you have a mix audio, because YouTube hasn't developed something where they could, like, detect copyright music through multiple, audio layers. At least not yet. So, you could have had the better version, and you could have had it monetized, but it was like, no. The stupid social media person was, like, insistent upon that, even though he didn't know crap. Nobody knew crap there. So the inferior version was put up, and it was just, like, every step of the way, from dealing with Lamonti to dealing with, like, people second-guessing it, like Mr. Wall Street guy, to losing Weinstein Jr.'s protection. Because Mr. Weinstein Jr. was, like, very flighty and only came in, like, maybe a few days a week, on a good week, and would wander out just as easily. It would basically put the video department under the jurisdiction of frickin' Mr. Wall Street, and then they'd have to do other things, and they couldn't, like, get this video out. But, the whole thing was, like, kind of like a painful experience, and ultimately disappointing, and didn't do quite as well as I would have liked. So, yeah, that's the sort of, like, behind-the-scenes stories, but I hope, someone out there finds this amusing. And if not, it was worth a shot. It just goes to show you that, it takes a lot of effort to put together one of these sort of college humor SNL-like skits, and it's, kind of like, despite the fact that you have, like, cute little funny things, there are all kinds of things that can go wrong. I like to think I've improved over the original version considerably with a few little changes I made, which is more in line with, like, my original script, which I was forced to change to Lamonti, who would also always be like, oh, that's not funny enough, and he had this terrible idea where it's like, oh, well, we need to have this thing where, we tell each of the days, because, like, you can't just have it, like, jump cut to something else, like every other comedy sketch imaginable. It's like, you gotta have it, like, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I hated that, and I thought it was completely unnecessary. And as you can see in this version, that stupid device is completely gone. Thanks for watching this video. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. I love hearing your opinions on the stuff I put out. Let me know if you thought this video sucked and was a miserable piece of bad comedy, or if you actually found it amusing. Feel free to check out one of my other video essays included in the boxes that are now floating around if you want to see some of my other stuff. Also, check out our sponsor T-Blocks. I'm sure they could probably hook you up with all the Star Wars shirts you could ever want, and use my code for a discount. And remember, lobsters and tennis, don't you grab it.